Someone, okay, you know what? I'll just answer this question. In your picture, you said that this is paradise. How can you see this as paradise? Okay, well, we'll start with that. That was a photo shoot in Toronto. There was this graffiti, and it said, "This is paradise," and we're passing by it, and and the photographer said, "Hey, let's take a picture here." And so, what is being suggested is that in this apparent realness, where boundless paradise is all encompassing, not as an idea, but a mind-blowing suggestion that characters, seekers, longing for paradise is none other than the very paradise appearing as lost. Plainly, paradise is seeking for paradise. So paradise, seemingly deluded as an individual, thinking in delusions, looking for itself, thinking in concepts or geography or time. So most of these apparent characters seem to fail to recognize or overlook what is already. The seeming gaze of these characters is perpetually fixed in an elusive future, causing them to overlook the profoundness of this already unfolding in the seeming appearance in this very present moment. So this is paradise. No need to welcome you, because paradise is paradise. So seemingly the apparent character that are entrapped in the relentless pursuit of answers, fervently asking questions while striving to distinguish themselves from this paradise, the unconceptual paradise is looking in concepts. All the while, the seeming neglect of this remarkable intimacy that already encompasses or envelops the apparent seeker, a force capable of eclipsing all inquiries and solutions from this paradise, leaving only awe in its wake, although no one wakes up. The imaginary human mind, driven by that insatiable desire for continuity, persistently poses questions like a tether to the past, a bridge to the future, and a declaration of individuality that I am a me. But that's not what is reality, because there's no reality. Perhaps the seeking characters have already gathered more answers that they can fathom. Usually there's books, shelves brimming with wisdom, books after books, and the questioner can't seem to find the answer. Even a heavy tool belt that is supposed to heal the imagined division is only makes up answers. Yet these answers remain elusive as the made-up mind refuses to embrace them as ultimate truths. There's no ultimate, there's no truth. It's subjective. For to do so would mean the instant dissolution of both questions and answers. Questions and answers are the two sides of a coin, forever intertwined. It's meaningless. Who then is the questioner but a tapestry of conditioning and assumptions in an imaginary time? A bunch of ideas, a framework maintained by thoughts. The one who poses the question and awaits the response is in essence constructed from the very answers they've amassed. The release, seemingly, or the freedom from this accumulated knowledge is the relinquishing of questions and answers. Equates to letting go of one's identity, because there's no identity aside from an idea of an identity. And the identity seems to be questioned, but overlooking that what's questioning it is not an identity. There's not even a questioner, so to speak. Thus, the relentless quest endures this unwavering determination, this seemingly neurotic seeking for what already is, and declares one day, one day it will happen. One day liberation will be achieved. One day freedom will be found. One day freedom will be seen. One day paradise will be found. But why postpone such a profound revelation? Why not see it now? Although there's nothing to see because it's just paradise looking at paradise, not as an idea, not as a vision, not as an answer. What answers can await discovery? How long will the quest for the boundless paradise persist? Perhaps, maybe in time, the futility, the hopelessness of ceaseless seeking will become really apparent. It's obvious, right? And on that day, there will be a revelation, but there's no one day other than this. And the laughter will erupt, like Carol, as the absurdity, it's so absurd, of the intricate knots, seemingly kind of like, this entanglement, this web of lies become apparent. That paradise is not for someone because there's no one in paradise, but seemingly when there is a longing for paradise, it ceases to project or to construct an idea that one day it will find paradise. One day there will be a revelation. One day there will be an aha moment. Then the laughter will erupt. But it doesn't have to be one day. It doesn't have to be an aha moment because there are really no moments. It's already seen, but not by you. It's already seen. What is looking at paradise is paradise looking at itself. So even amid this relentless questioning, it persists as paradise. It encompasses everything without exception. So paradise is always paradise no matter what. What you think of it, what you not think of it, it's just paradise appearing as it is. Not as an idea, not as a destination, not as a one day it will be paradise, but this is paradise already. If you have any questions about that, please go ahead. Thank you for that question. It gave me an intro.
Hooray!
Hooray! Thank you. And if you feel like grabbing a beverage, a coffee or tea, the party starts now. There's a question here, sorry. In nature, not to anything appear the same, or in nature, no to anything appear the same or stay the exact same. We complain about it all the time. Haha, yep. Yet there are persistent fantasies of repetition, like reincarnation, isness, and the self-made person. We have comparative history. We use nouns and name things as if they are the same. We say things like what is. But how would we know what is without looking at a dead past or an imagined future? Formlessness in Buddhist tradition and such, but there's never any real absence of form. Form never existed. How can it be absent? It's not really a position. So the seeming response is there's no response to it. It's not really a position. It's not really a figuring out. What is basically is the innocence or the ignorance of it all. There are no separation, but somehow the very response to a question persists the separation that never really exists. The repetition that seemingly appears in the fantasies like reincarnation, isness, and everything is just what is as well. So there's nothing outside of what is, since there's no separation. To suggest that there is something that is destination or destined or something that has been an arrival is to suggest that there was a separation. So the seeming conundrum of what seems to appear as whole and complete already or inherently whole is that it also seemingly, the suggestion of separateness or parts is also part of something that cannot be divided. Yeah. So there's really no answer to anything, because the answer will suggest that there's a separation. Meaning that all of this narrative, this blah, 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 is basically just another response to something that does not need any response to. From YouTube to YouTube to not to. What is a question? Sorry, I don't know what a question is, because where there's no questioner and question, when that seems to dissolve, it's just what is. It cannot be known, it cannot be comprehended, it cannot be grasped. It's simply what is. Does not need any kind of comprehension or grasping, because it is what is no matter what. Why do you say everything is nothing? I get we can't know it, but why does it that make it nothing? Anything that I say doesn't really matter. I can also say that everything that I say is really nothing. It's irrelevant. I can say that everything is irrelevant, but I'm not saying it. There's no one saying it. What seems to be obvious is when there's this seeming collapse of every knowing and knowledge, there is just, all that is left is just this undeniable freedom, but not from me. Not from my ideas, not from my concepts, not from anything that I say. And there's nothing that I can say that can seem to answer. So this is not really a landing. Even saying nothing is everything is way too much. It simplifies something that does not need to be simplified. It clarifies something that does not need to be clarified, but it's the most simple, direct response to something that usually creates a bunch of ideas or fantasies about what is. You can say that it's everything, but it's also nothing. Nothing is everything, meaning that there's no position. It remains unknowable, because to arrive at everything or to arrive at nothing is just another perception of an individual. But seemingly there's no individual that knows this, so it's everything and nothing simultaneously. But no one can perceive that, because that's an impossible acknowledgement or a figuring out. It can't be figured out. It's just simply what is. But thank you for that question. If you want to add more to that, please go ahead. Even saying nothing is too much. It's not even nothing. Again, these words are just suggestions of something that does not need any suggestion, because it's already clear, it's already obvious, but not through words, not through comprehension, not through an individual. In the absence of it all, although even absence is just another concept, it can also be, explained as nothing. So it's being expressed is that there's just this unknowable this that can appear as a knowing, but that's not it when it is known. David. Hi, David.
Hi, David. Hi, Emerson.
Hi.
Hi. So, could you say that there is nothing at the exclusion of everything else? So can you say that in absolute terms, all there is nothing, and that there isn't any?
Yeah. But that's just another saying. Yeah, that's just another figuring out of something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because we say nothing and everything. Yeah. And we say silence and sounding, and we say empty and full. And it seems that the angle it seems to come from, and I know this isn't the case, and I know you say this isn't the case, but the angle it seems to come from is that everything is almost arising from nothing. And I know you don't say that, but
I don't say that.
It's often heard, I think. Yes, but it's heard that way, I think, and it can be heard that way. And silence. This is silence sounding. We tend to say silence before sounding. We tend not to say this is sounding silencing, and we tend not to say that this is fullness emptying.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So it could kind of be perceived or taken or interpreted that it's a blank template. It's the abyss, and from the abyss,
it's a void, right?
It's a concept. Life bursts out of the void. So that's why I guess I'm sort of came up with that question.
Yeah, for sure. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Can we take everything out of the equation? Can we take fullness out of the equation? Can we take sound out of the equation and say all there is nothing? This is nothing.
Yes. And that's why sometimes it can be expressed that this is just death, meaning nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Everything that is appearing is death. And it might seemingly from an individual listening to it, it might seem really gloomy and everything, right? But also it also kind of like expresses that, there's just death, and this aliveness is the temporal appearance of death.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of like what you say about nothing as well. It's meaning that nothing is the unthinkable appearing as thinking, the unknowingness appearing as knowing. It's like an emanation, like an emanating. It's like sound. Silence is emanating sound, but you can say that it's just all that deadly silence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're saying appearing as opposed to appearing from.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference, right? Because the moment that there is a positioning, meaning appearing from, then it suggests that there is a source. But when there is a cognizing of source and everything, then it's a persistent position that I know.
Yes.
Or there is something so in a that way, is there's something that is what do you call it, a deity, or what I'm saying, or kind of like a god, you know what I'm saying, that kind of like it's basing it from a blind fate, so to speak. So this is not from fate or an idea or an imagination. It's just simply what is. But go ahead.
Because it then becomes a creation, doesn't it? And then it asks then it prompts the question, who's the creator, or what is the creator? But that's not what we're saying here, is it?
The seeming suggestion that also happened was a departure from that religiousness or the spirituality of that there is a higher self or a higher God, when there was an admission. I'm not going to name names, you know what I'm saying, but there's an admission that at the end of this, at the deathbed of a sage or something, that the I am is just another suggestion or imagination. It's not a destination. It's not like a determination. I've determined this. And sometimes in the appearance of knowing, it's very safe or very kind of like, how do you call it? Non-blasphemous to say that this is God. The moment that it goes the opposite, then it becomes a blasphemy, right? But blasphemy or non-blasphemy is the same. It's just all made up. So someone from the opposite can also say that this is really nothing, but who knows that? But it's a clear expression of something that cannot really be fully be materialized as an idea, right? I don't really know. So it's the I don't know admitting that it's an I don't know. On the opposite spectrum, it's the I know, knowing the I know, but who knows? Levels of sincerity, you know what I'm saying? In this, speaking of this, so seemingly someone from maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago can come from that base, from a religiousness, spirituality, that Brahman kind of like idea and everything. And anyone that seems to be more religious or more into that belief system or the faith-based ideology will claim that I am Brahman. From the opposite spectrum, it will also there could be there's also a lot of an explosion of atheism and everything, and non-belief and everything. But belief and non-belief are also just something that was figured out, something that's made up. So it's neither, you know what I'm saying? It's neither nothing, neither everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just leaves you in this. And round. Yeah, because it will just keep around and round. And again, you know what? There's a lot of characters, individuals that I do privates with that are stuck in nothing now. That's stuck in that nihilism or solipsism, right? Yes. Of the, it's either the self or nihilistic. There's no self and everything, but both are all made up.
Yeah.
So the way out is that there's no way out, because a way out is just a figuring out something, thinking that you have the answers. So nothing as an answer is still an answer. Everything or Brahman, everything is Brahman is also an answer. So kind of like what I was saying in the introduction, right? It dissolves the questioner and the questions.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any more questions. It's just basically ignorance. It's just the not knowingness. It's the joy of not knowing, because it can't be figured out. And that's when the specialness of a character comes out, when they think that they are nothing or I am everything. Both similar, saying narratives. So this kind of like chops off not the head also, but the knees to fall off from a pedestal, that it's insignificant, that it's pointless, you know what I'm saying? That it's not special at all.
Yep.
Yeah. And it admits that all of these words are just blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks for that. Great.
Thank you. There's a whole bunch of. You sometimes say that thoughts are nothing, but it seems to be something, at least as an appearance. Let's just say that thoughts are also what is, but it's also nothing. It's not about getting rid of thoughts or entertaining them or, you know what, or ignoring them, because it's also just what is. To simplify things, what seems to be appearing is just what is. And it's difficult for a seeker sometimes to accept that. But this is not about acceptance of what's being said here. It's just saying that every word that I'm saying is pointless at the same time that all thoughts are pointless. Even a thought that it's nothing or as an appearance, it's just something. These are just words. Yeah, thank you, Cecilia. Just a play of words. It's a game. So all words are made up. So one word is better than the other. It's just a word. It's all made up. A thought is better than one thought. It's just a thought. It's all made up. And it's just what is. Playing God, yes. Thank you, Axel. It's pointless to listen to the words because of the tendency to analyze and give them meaning, missing the obviousness of that in which they arise. Yes, thank you so much, Gunver. So okay, Cecilia, and I'll get to you, Hadar. Thank you. Hello, Cecilia.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not gonna sing to you the happy birthday.
That's okay. That's okay.
In Spanish. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a ti.
Oh, thank you. Gracias.
De nada. Now that we're talking about words.
Yes.
Part of the story of this character, and I wanted to share with you because it's interesting.
Yes.
For my dissertation, I wrote a autobiography. For that, you write the narrative of the story, including photographs.
Yes.
You write the narrative. And then you enter all those words or the narratives into a software.
Oh, wow.
And that produces the qualitative study and gives you the result. The software analyzes the words, how many words, how many you repeated, how much, and then that gives you a scientific study.
Yes.
When I wrote it, I was like, oh my God, amazing software.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now, this character can say, what a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
How can a machine tell me that this is based on the words? Maybe I can say today, it just shows, the software shows the beliefs.
Yes.
Entering into the words.
Yes. Words are weighted in beliefs, but they're all empty. So one word seems to be heavier than the other based on a belief. But the belief is just another word, isn't it? So it circles back to that. And when it's seen that the belief is also empty, then all beliefs are empty.
And then when using all those words to create a scientific study, I think that's why I'm here today. Because when I was doing the study, I had a dream that I was a speaker to a huge amount of people.
Yeah.
About, in the back, there was the number 666. And then I searched about what's this. And then I came to the spirit extraterrestrial BS, the spiritual, mystical, whatever, till now. And then today, analyzing the story, I go like 666. Yeah, I was gonna talk about BS
Mm-hmm.
and influence the seeker, which I didn't know there was a seeker before, influence the listener to behave or to act or to seek based on words.
Yes.
My words.
Yes. Insanity is in it, right? It's insanity. Insanity, right? Because when you look up a word, it's just made up of more words. So made up word is comprised of more made up words. And it's just it's just a loop of trying to know something that is empty.
And how many synonyms can we find for one word?
I'm not sure, but it's all made up.
It's incredible. And each word has its own meaning, being the same as the original word.
Yeah.
That's why I call it a game. It's just, and since I'm here, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This character, and I think this is a tact, but this character feels falling away. But that is that she is falling down, holding to something. It's not falling away. What can get me stuck? What hook the egg uses to keep stuck?
You're not really
doesn't want to move far forward.
Yeah. You're not really stuck. If we dissolve all the words, is there such thing as stuck? You just pointed it out that all words is just BS, right? So why would a BS cause a stuckness? So stuckness would also be BS. So in the wake of seeing that these words, no one woke up saying that all of these words are just all made up labels, stamps of something that cannot be labeled or stamped. So seeking in words is just a futile search for more words, hoping that the word that is found will liberate a word. So in other words, all words are meaningless, including the word that's seeking it. So you are a word.
Then what I'm doing is looking for words to describe what it's doing.
It cannot be described by words. Yeah. It cannot be, because it does not need description, because it's not separate. It does not need even to know, because it's not separate. There's a running track that it is separate only in words. And in these words, empires are built. Towers of belief systems are made. Mountains of hope are climbed. But nothing can ever, be resolved from words, because it will just be more words. And if you look up a word in a dictionary, it's just more words. So the futility in seeking in words is the fall of the words that are held onto. Because if you look at it from just a lens of clarity that you, me, whatever is uttered is just another word. And the belief in that word seems to create weight in something that does not have any weight. The significance in words seem to create an illusion of reality. An infant has never heard of a me or God or consciousness or awareness or nothing. It just is. And there's nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying, with the dream of separation. But it simply is just what is. It's just a dream of words, made up words that seems to create this illusion of gravity, the illusion of separation, the illusion of you and I. And the language that seems to weave all of these words together creates systems, understandings, questions, and answers. At the seeing, although there's no one seeing it, the transparency of words as empty are questions and answers both irrelevant? Yes.
And depending on the language, like Spanish is a romantic language versus English. English is an active language.
But what's romantic and active is just more words.
Words.
Yeah, that seems to suggest separation in words.
Now sadness is happening here. I'm going to start crying.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
So it questions the idea of the definition of human being. What is a human being? If not defined, yes. Are we human beings? Are you a human being? Are these words defines what human beings? In the apocalypse of words, meaning if the words are annihilated, what is being looked at? Who is talking? What is listening? Or what is talking? Not even a who. What is expressing? Emerson, is it as simple as there is no me? There's just this. It's a very simplistic expression of something that does not need to be simple or exaggerated. There is no me. It's simply the obviousness that in the absence, although there's really no absence aside from an idea of what absence is, in the clarity that defies definition or language or word, simply there's no individual. And that's even saying too much. It's just this is a description of something that is just very limited at times, because the seeker tries to look for this, but it's not in what's being truly expressed or fully expressed. When it's expressed this, it means that it's beyond this, and it's this at the same time. But no one can figure it out because this is also looking at this. This is listening to this. This is talking to this. This is hearing this. So it's an all-encompassing this. It's not a position. Sometimes it appears like a position that all that there is this, but it's a very simple suggestion that there's nothing outside or inside for that matter. What's the best way to listen to this message? That's an instruction of something that does not really need any instruction. There's really no choosing to listen to this message as music or not, or, intently. As a seeker, when I was seeking this, I tried everything. I tried to pretend I was not listening to this. I tried to listen to it while I was sleeping. I was hoping that maybe when I wake up in the morning, I will get this. But it's not any of this, right? It's what's being expressed is already this, meaning that there's no need to comprehend it. There's no need to, but the seeming paying attention is in the words or the syncopation of the sounds and everything. It's just silent sounding. Oh, I see Corey. Hi, Corey. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Ollie.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello. I know that place where you're at.
You do? Oh, I hadn't been listening or, to videos very much because it was like I had nothing to say or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I was saying, well, when I'm saying something, it's like I'm lying all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like, I felt like an imposter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I listened to a few videos lately. I just just David was saying, he's like, anyway. So in listening to videos, I had a question, and because I heard it like a speaker say that when it's obvious, there's no doubt.
Yes. Yeah.
So I said, oh, it's obvious here.
Yeah.
So I
but
like
everything is also allowed. It's not.
Yes, But it's like I wanted proof.
Yeah.
Not for like.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, not for this character, but for others to believe.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh my God, if it's obvious, there's no one, there's no others,
Yeah.
And believe. Oh my God.
That's just a belief, right? And again, belief is just a word. It's just empty. So anything that a speaker, I don't care which speaker says it, right? It's just another blah, blah, blah. There's really, everything is allowed in this, right?
Yes, it can appear. But I saw the grasping of wanting proof, which will never come.
And sometimes, what's heard is not the complete sentence or the complete expression. So for example, the speaker would say that when it was seen, there's no doubt. And the same token, a speaker can only say that, I've spoken to a couple of speakers about this, that it was gradual because doubt kept on trying to come in. It's also what is. So the doubt is also what is.
Yes,
it doesn't matter. Everything is allowed. It can't be, it can't be compromised and uncompromising at the same time, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not somebody's position. It's not somebody's experience because there's no one. So if someone comes up with a statement like that, it's just another statement. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, saying like there's no one. Well, it's not known. There's no one.
Exactly.
It won't ever be known. There's someone or no one or whatever.
Yeah.
And
it's just another statement of something that cannot be stated. It's impossible, right? But the speaker can only access words, and the words will always present an opposition.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not. Sorry.
And it's very funny because I don't have. There's a lot more peace. Very much. It's not like resisting or arguing with life, or questioning actions, you know, or non-actions, or it's just a lot more peace. But there's no, like, also no Mary. And oh my God, this is, I want to speak and I just can't remember what I wanted to say. And
again, you know, I kind of like what I said from the first meeting. What is being expressed here has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with speakers. All speakers will just come up with opinions, although there's no one behind the opinions, but it is still going to appear as that, right? So this cannot be opinionated. It can't be held onto as a belief, because that's just another belief. But this is not about anything at all. It can appear as dancing, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you hear music, it can appear as eating, you know, lobsters and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or it can appear as crying, and it can appear as doubt.
Yes.
It appears as everything. It's not one thing. It's not, you know, it's
still grieving.
Yeah.
It's still grieving. And I just I can't even remember. I think it's yesterday or today or this morning. I don't know. Doesn't make any difference. I listened to the video with Dr. Leela.
Yes.
Oh my God, this was so devastating.
Yes.
And oh my God, nothing left. And all stories are so irrelevant.
Yes.
Oh my God, you know. It was really, really interesting.
Yes. We're going to do more of that. I think she's here somewhere. I'm not sure. She was here earlier. But we have so much fun with those conversations, because it just flows, right? It just flows. And it is not in the construct of non-duality, because it's just all storytelling. But nothing matters, really. It doesn't matter.
Yes, nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to ask.
Yeah, sure.
You know, when you're talking about like sincerity or honesty.
Yeah.
I have like a dilemma.
Yes.
Because like if I'm talking to my daughter, like there's no now, but you know, I'm just letting whatever comes and whatever goes and whatever, you know, it's not important, or it doesn't, nothing matters.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, well, this is also it anyway, that there's a feeling like not being authentic.
Yes, and that's also what is.
Yes.
That's also what is. It can appear as an imposter syndrome. That's also what is. Because what is... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but when you're saying sincerity and honesty, what do you mean? I mean, when you say
there's no more purposeful lying. It doesn't need to lie anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's being sincere. It's being completely brutally honest, because it doesn't have any reason to lie anymore. Right?
Oh, that is so funny.
That's sincerity. Yeah, it's just being completely sincere. Like when I say there's really nothing to get. There's no one lying here trying to keep, you know, something to get. But if you attend my 3-month, you know, retreat, I'll get, you know, saying there's just this sincerity that there's really nothing to get, and it doesn't need to make up something anymore.
This is so funny, because it was okay. So oh, you know, here I couldn't tolerate lies.
Yeah.
And when I realized everything is a lie,
oh it is. It's all made up. It's all made up, and and I can't make that up. It's all made up.
So, okay, so I'll leave it.
It is
So we'll
it
talk
is
more.
what it is. It's if really it's all lies, but it's also innocent. It's innocent lies. You know what I'm saying? Because there's really no one doing any of this, right? So it's just innocence at play. It's just a play of innocence. And even if you react, you know, that's also innocence. Anything is, right? You know, you can change the word innocence with paradise. You can change the word with paradise with nothing. You can change the word paradise with just what is. You can change the word paradise into this. It's just words. It's interchangeable, but all are meaningless. It's all empty words. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I really like the the no positioning, you know, because it's like really free.
It's just air, right? So it's free, you know, saying it's not heavy. There's nothing to do. Even if you're doing something, that's also nothing to do. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And oh yes, I you know, I heard you say that you went to see with a friend somebody that had dementia.
Yes.
And my father has dementia and has Alzheimer. He's 92. And
oh wow.
Like, and this is so amazing. You know, it's really amazing. It's like it doesn't have any more memory of anything, and it does no words. No words.
No words, no thoughts.
No,
no memory. Nothing.
It's and you know, well, before, when he was not as how could I say
as strong,
as strong as a, you know, an illness, or anyway, it was a little bit harder because, you know, he was trying to remember and feeling, you know, but now he's laughing and
it's just
right.
back to innocence. I was talking with someone and basically said, so Emerson, the birth and the death are, you know, a natural, like birth and death are bookmarked, you know, by nothing or innocence. I'm like, yeah, it's just all innocence at play. So there's innocent baby. And then at the end, you know, at the end of the, you know, I remember my grandma, she would be holding a baby doll. And then she would be asking me, are you my husband? No, I'm your grandson. Okay. Do you like my baby doll?
Lately, my father asked me if I was a man.
Just like a baby, right? Just like return to innocence. Return to innocent. Return to, again, when there's no thoughts, it's paradise. Back to paradise.
Yes. No thoughts.
Yeah. And there's only something wrong with death or something dark about that when it's thought about. But in the absence of ideas and everything, that is it. It's also it.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just what is.
Whatever.
Yeah. Seemingly there's the seeking for the individual to return to innocence, but it's always been innocent.
Oh, it's, you know, there was a lot of, like, they're still crying.
Yeah.
But, you know, for no reason, and being so touched because it's always been like that. And oh my God, you know, it's always been like that. And there's no word now.
No words. Yeah, no words. It's no words. It's always this. No matter what appears, it can appear as doubt. It could appear as crying and grieving, pulling out your hair, you know, and kicking the door. And it could be laughing all of a sudden abruptly.
Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon. Maybe I'll do a surprise visit.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah. Who wants to come to Montreal?
Anytime, Emerson. Anytime.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. And I see Michelle there too. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
Hello. I miss our Blanche de Chambly drinks.
Yeah, I have one there. It's waiting.
You're still saving it for me? Okay. All right. I'll wait for it.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Casey. Hi, Casey. Oh, nice car. Are you in a car? No, you're not.
No.
Okay.
I'm
like, oh.
No, I'm at the pool.
Oh, wow. Is that your pool?
Yeah, totally. No, it's in our apartment complex, so
nice.
you could say it's mine. I'll take that.
Nice.
Man, just going back to that conversation of feeling like children again or something, or the innocence.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Back in elementary school, my favorite thing was show and tell. I remember, because you can learn about these like cool things that people are into. And then you grow up and stuff, and so it feels like at first it felt like, like we're all adults, and all this baggage.
Yeah.
But now, what it feels
back
like
to play,
is,
right?
Hey, kids, we're back. It's a reunion. The show and tell is like, oh, you got a degree, or oh, like freak accident, someone died, or like, hey, you graduated, or yeah. That's like the show and tell.
It is, yeah. It is.
40 years, really, there's no time. Like show and tell. I was like, wow, tell me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I went to some old people from my high school, and they were asking what I do. I'm like, oh, just YouTube. And then someone said, aren't you too old for YouTube? It's enough for the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds. I'm like, maybe, yeah. So there's no more trying to be better, because it's just what is. It's almost like the character gets slapped into humility, that it's just what is. It's perfect as it is. Yeah. It doesn't have to do show and tell anymore.
Yeah.
But if show and tell happens, that's also what is. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you. Thank you, Casey.
Much love.
Yes, Mark, it's his pool. Cheech and Chong, lowrider. What cakes did you get? I got 4 cakes. I get someone Uber delivered some cakes. One is it's called Sans Rival. It's like a French, whatever. I can't remember. It's really delicious. And the other one is ube, which is like a purple yam cake. So good. And a couple more, like a couple of pies. Yeah. Thank you. I'll share if you want to. So I'll email it to you. Oh, there's a question here. Sorry. You can see a face, a body, but you cannot see actually who is the talker. And the talker doesn't see itself as well. Can't turn around to see itself. Yeah. It's this beautiful unfoldingness of something that is completely still. And that's hard to fathom or understand. And everything is allowed to appear. It can appear as kind of like what we're talking about, sadness, gladness, whateverness seems to appear in this. And there's nothing that is not allowed. So there's just this unconditionality of what seems to appear. Is there no more drama in Emerson's life? I think I talked about this. Yeah, there's drama seems to appear, but there's no more engagement to it. It just comes and goes. It's just what is. Even kind of like, yeah, it's just what is. From the story, there seems to be dramatics that appear, you know what I'm saying? But there's no more involvement in it. There's no one involved in a drama. It's just drama happening. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, is the audio okay? Is the sound okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can see you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You're in darkness, Mark. That's okay.
So any thought, any feeling is okay.
I'm sorry?
So any thought, any feeling is okay.
Yeah. Well, it's just what is, right? So it's not okay and it's not okay. It's just what is. It's not about, so there's this seeming idea that there's right or wrong, but right or wrong are just ideas. They're just words. Feelings that come up are just seemingly sensations of what is, seemingly emanating as is. And even the emanation is illusory. What seems to appear as laughter, crying, sadness, or whatever seems to come and go. But the stamping that there's something wrong, or stamping that, questioning or comparing something, creates this almost like a stretching of something that is really irrelevant.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be what's creating, I guess, the feeling or the thought is not a problem, but
What's that, sorry?
I guess like the feeling or the thought is not a problem, but it's maybe like the afterthought of that thought of feeling is a problem, or like in itself the thought of feeling is not a problem, but it's the thought that the feeling is a problem.
It is. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Well, there's no you to get it, but there's just this emptiness, right? There's just this, blankness seemingly, right? When everything is just, it's almost like when everything is seen through, it's really transparently empty. Even kind of like, there was this when there was this time that this character was seeking, and he was stuck in bed crying over, when am I going to get enlightened? When am I going to, when is this going to happen? All of that is irrelevant. It's the one day, it's the next, it's the, what I'm saying? It's just really swimming in words, right? And drowning in it, because it's hoping that a word will liberate it. But simply there are no words to this, because it's already. So if sadness seems to appear, if you want to call it that, then that's just what is appearing as sadness. If happiness appears, then that's just what is. But there's this romanticized idea of having permanent happiness.
Right.
In the movie, they call that like, like an illness, like Joker. She's always laughing at no matter what. It's almost sociopathic, right? So everything is allowed. So if care happens, that's just care happening. If concern is happening, that's concern happening. If love, like romantic love is happening, that's also what's happening. If anger happens, that's also what's happening. A permanent idea of something that cannot be put in idea is just a delusion. So this character was delusional that he can maintain this bliss as an enlightened being 10 years ago. And because of that maintenance of that idea, or what, kind of like what Ollie was saying, the idea that there's someone that needs to be, I can't remember what you said, that it has to be completely whatever. It's just an idea. It's just all ideas. So all ideas are allowed, but none of them are real.
Right. They're just
that's why they're allowed.
Fantasies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's welcome. All BS are welcome, because it's all BS. The moment that there's a believer of the BS, then it creates another BS, right? It just becomes this web of lies, right? That the seeker seems to get, entangled with. So the entanglement in all of this, made up stuff to create reality creates a position, and the position creates a maintenance or a wanting to get out of it. So it just maintains another position. So it just keeps on going and going and going and going. All of a sudden, a character's up at night thinking a whole bunch of stuff of how to get rid of this and everything. They're just really swimming in thoughts.
Yeah.
When it's just seen that everything is already as it is. So there's almost a so whatness to whatever seems to appear. So what? Who cares? And I know that's harder, harder done than said or something like that, but it's just what is.
Yeah.
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 I used to when I used to get into this heavy philosophy of trying to figure out who am I used to go for a run, you know what I'm saying? And I'll forget the question and I'll just see the beautiful, the beautiful flowers and the greens and the sky and everything. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking about who am I again? That's irrelevant as the beautiful flowers and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like going back to a nighttime dream and then trying to figure out what you dreamt about, what the meaning of it is. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense.
No.
This does not make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy. Hey, Kathy.
Oh, again.
Hello.
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 Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking like what he said, Mark,
Yeah.
Like you think you got rid of your beliefs, whatever they were. You don't need to practice. You don't need, heaven, hell, nirvana, whatever.
Yeah.
There were millions of them, including you create your own reality. Boy, that was a strong one. Yeah. And it's so funny though, because as you're going about your day-to-day whatever, and I don't even work, so I don't have people do it who are at work and stuff. There's like underlying stuff that comes out depending on what somebody does. And I'm like, wow, that's a really strong belief you have. And you're making a judgment now.
Yeah.
But it's just there, it's just there. I can't change it.
But that's another belief, isn't it, right? That's another belief.
There's nobody to change it. What?
Yeah.
What? What's another belief?
Everything that's just what you were saying earlier, that there's no one to change it, but that's another belief.
Yeah.
It's just all beliefs kind of like circling. Even a no belief is a belief.
Even the no belief is a belief. Yeah. So just step into the void.
And if it's just seen, directly as just what is.
Yeah,
it's just a play.
Even though you're making a position, even though I'm taking
position. But there's no you making a position outside of a belief that you're making a position. See,
right. But the position is there, and it feels funny now.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't.
Yeah, there's no more much weight to it. I used to be so heavy in this belief, system. The moment and I flip flop, because as I said, I was mentioned in the past that I was heavy into Catholic, Jesus loves me and Yahweh, all that songs that I believed in my heart and everything. And then the flip side of it is I stopped believing. So I thought I was better now, like I was an atheist now. And then I went into spirituality head on, right? Not noticing that it's just basically just the same person as religion. It's just another belief system. And then, when I thought I was much better than everybody when I was just in consciousness and awareness, right? I'm like, this is not a belief. This is a belief. But it's the same trap over and over again. There's no out of the trap because there's no one trapped.
Yeah.
The trap is thinking that there's you to believe or not
to
believe.
Do something. Yeah.
Or not do something.
To control something here. Yeah.
There's you that's manipulating, that's running the show, right?
Yeah.
But there's no you doing any of this. It's just all innocence of play. And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I heard somebody say, there's no step you can take. You're standing there. You're standing.
Because who's going to take a step, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. It's just nothing. Yeah.
Or who's not going to take the step. It's also the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Emerson. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Emerson. I heard that you sing. I don't really. I like singing karaoke, but the 90s power ballads only. So give me Celine Dion, Mariah Carey. I think they're really funny. That's why I like singing them. Whitney Houston, 90s power ballad, bring it on. Or classic rock, like Hotel California, Bohemian Rhapsody, those types.
No, I said that earlier because one time you had a meeting and you sang a few bars of Cecilia.
Oh, no, we had a meeting. We had a full-on karaoke. Were you not there for that?
No. I was singing
like 90s power ballad.
Oh, wow. I missed that one. But I heard you sing like just one bar of Cecilia. It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe. I don't know when it was. And it was I said, oh, that sounded so nice. So I want to hear you sing that. But don't worry about it.
It's nothing special.
Whenever.
Filipinos know how to sing and dance. It's inherent, apparently. Nothing special.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll see. Bye. Yeah.
Hey, Catherine. Hello.
Hello. Happy no birthday.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you.
It's funny. I couldn't think of anything to talk about, and yet wanting to take part, and just like it's almost like, oh, this is so important, and I need this to
be
save my life. What a joke.
It is.
Yeah. It's like, oh, my life depends on this. I've got to hear this,
That's right, yeah.
And because, words are so irrelevant.
They are. And it's easy to get caught up in them, though. Right? Sometimes, the words, it's mesmerizing, right? It's almost like this intoxicating things. But all of a sudden, simultaneously, they're not really anything. Meaningless.
Yes. It's funny because sometimes there seems to be realization and no knowing, and another time it just feels heavy emotions, and as you say, it's whatever shows up.
Yeah, whatever shows up.
In a way.
Yeah. There's no controller anyway, right? So when there's no controller, whatever shows up is it. Yeah. There's no reject or accept. There's no acceptance or rejection button.
I guess that's also part of that Christian upbringing, this thing of acceptance and
it cannot be demystified, right? It's a mystery, and you can't accept or reject the mystery. It's just what is.
Yeah, and because when you can't express yourself, and the thing about a mystery is that it always remains a mystery.
It will
you can't
always
suddenly like
Exactly.
It's not mysterious anymore. It remains unknown and ungraspable.
What the there's this song. The song always remains, the stillness, silence, or whatever name you want to call it, remains the same no matter what. No matter what,
no
right?
Matter,
it can't.
No matter what.
No matter what, it can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be budged. It can't be forced. It can't be known. It can't be moved. It can't be known. And it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's supposed to be the most apparent, or the most liberating thing, that nothing has ever changed.
No, I mean, just now it feels like things evaporate so quickly. I was going to say such a heavy emotion. I can feel like, because it's not about bliss. So, everything is felt, the tightness in the cheek and being tight, and then it's gone as well.
Isn't it completely impersonal? It's impersonal.
Yeah, I think that's where this a slight belief that there's still, how we make the acquisition that those emotions, those feelings are mine, and they're there because of me, or and oh my gosh.
But that's just
the phantom.
But it's just the noise in a boundless universe, isn't it? It's just the noise in boundless freedom. All of that will come up. It tries to create this or that doubt, or you know what I was saying, me or no me, but they're all noise, and this has nothing to do with the noise. No matter what noise, no matter how get noise it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. So what is really left is this mystery from the dust, you know what I'm saying, to the planets, the universe, the cosmos. It's all a mystery. And it's not even appearing in time. It can't be figured out, right? It's just what is. It's unthinkable, but yet it appears in everything.
But that's it, isn't it? It appears in everything.
Yeah.
And like you say, even in this doubt and questioning.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like
it appears in everything.
Right or wrong, or
and the illusion is disguised as a character, as you, right? So it knows all the tricks of Catherine.
Yeah.
It's just a trick. It's a trick. It's a trickster.
The beautiful magic trick, like a magician.
Yeah, it's magical. Magical mystery ride for no one.
It's so personal.
Yeah, it seems personal, but it's not really
personal.
Yeah, it's impersonal. It's impersonal. It's nuts, right? To seemingly kind of like hold on to it as something that's happening to a me, because it's a certainty that it requires to create a position, but it's an uncertainty that's appearing in everything. So it lacks solidity. It lacks reality. It seems real, but it lacks solidity. It's ephemeral. It's a wisp. It appears and seemingly disappears. This feeling of sadness, this feeling of, imposter, fakeness and everything is just ephemeral. There's no reality to it. It's all BS.
Oh, you're lovely.
Oh, thank you.
It's so nice,
You too, Catherine.
Love you, Catherine.
Oh,
love you too, Casey. This is a
love.
Hey, I want to get in on this.
Hi, Natalie. Love you too, Natalie.
Party time.
It's just really a celebration of what is.
Yeah, that's it with words as well. You can get caught up and give them meaning or whatever, and
it's easy to get caught up in the drama, but that's also
it's everything. But it's everything as well.
It's everything as well, yeah.
And that doesn't mean anything. Gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm jealous of the cakes you're going to eat.
Yes, I'm going to bring them later.
Virtual eating cake.
Virtual eating cake. I can email it or text it to people. Hi, Ollie.
Hi. I just want to put like accent on a word that is used really often, like the seeing or the seen.
Yeah.
This is such a misleading word in a sense that, you know, the ordinariness is what is, you know, and
yeah, it's the mundane, it's the simple, it's the basic, is what is. But go ahead, sorry.
Repeat
the simple, the mundane, the direct.
I don't. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, but sometimes
I agree with what you're saying with the seeing, because it makes the seeker think that there's a different seeing,
exactly.
There's a different visualization or something.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is so misleading.
It is.
What
it's hard to communicate though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's seen as this. Yeah. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to maybe eradicate that seeing word and use a different.
I'm curious about the one you will find. Because...
I'll call it naked. The nakedness of this. That's better.
The nakedness of the fullness of the full. Oh God. Thanks, Emerson.
Oh, thank you. David.
Hi. Oh, hello. I'm there. Hi, Emerson. So, one second. Hi. So.
Oh, look at the doggy.
Oh, that's Hugo. Say hello, Hugo. So when we're talking about that's it as well, you know, it's in everything. Like, you know, the frustration, that's it as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could answer this myself, but I want to just ask it as an open question, really.
Yeah, sure.
And that is, what do we mean by that is it? And now my answer would be that we use the term what is, don't we? And I think what we mean by that is what is appearing to happen.
What is appearing?
So when we say, what is appearing to happen? Yeah, even though there's nothing happening.
Yes.
So when we say that, that's it as well. Essentially, what we are saying is what is appearing to happen is what is appearing to happen.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
All we're saying here, nothing more, nothing less, is eating pizza is eating pizza.
Exactly.
Being frustrated is being frustrated.
Yeah.
Cooking your dinner is cooking your dinner.
Yes. Walking is walking. Talking is talking. Dancing is dancing.
Because
licking is licking.
It can be heard.
Yeah.
From the seeker's point of view, they might hear two people who have had the seeing, or however you want to say it, talk about it and say, you know, and that's it as well. And, you know, and the illusory self is quite, you know, clever and sneaky and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But essentially what we're hearing said is not perhaps to be heard like as if there is some sort of hidden mystery behind it.
There's no.
Essentially what you're saying is that
So the illusion,
when we say that's it as well, when we say that's it as well, we're not talking about that's it as well, as in that is something special that you need to find.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's
that
it.
I have found that
Exactly.
you haven't found yet. You know what I mean? But it's heard that way, isn't it? You know. So
yeah.
what we're saying is that's it as well. Eating pizza is eating pizza, and we're saying nothing more than that. All we're saying is what is appearing to happen is what is appearing to happen.
Yeah.
And it's in that simplicity, isn't it?
It's in that simplicity that for example, let's use that eating pizza thing, right? So this is how the narrator kind of like reacts to it. He's eating pizza because he's severely depressed. He has an eating disorder, and he eats pizza, 10 pizzas a day before breakfast. And he eats again and everything. So pizza is his means of coping with reality, right? It's just eating pizza.
Yeah.
It's just, that's it. Basically eating pizza, walking. And for example, like let's just take a like an early morning account of what this character does, right? So it gets woken up with the sweetest, kisses from the dog, wakes up, puts on his puts on outfit, walking, looking, you know what I'm saying? And there's just this, because there's no oh, you know what, why did I get a dog? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just what is appearing as just that, right? So even if that narrative comes, it comes and goes. It's not like goes into a panic or whatever, or even that is too. So what's being expressed is whatever seems to appear is it. Insert whatever seems to be there, right? And then but the idea that this is not it creates this seeming suffering that there's something that's being missed. So really it's just the ordinary. It's just like taking that seeming kind of like a kaleidoscope that seems to create this intoxication that there's something out there and in there that's being missed.
And the suffering
at the same token,
is just suffering.
The suffering is looking for what's better than this. What's better than walking, eating pizza? What's better than having doubts or whatever? It's also it, no matter what it is, right?
So there can only be this.
There can only be this.
There can't be anything that isn't this.
Exactly. Got it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. And it's much simpler than that even. If you take away all the words, it's just this dynamic stillness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a picture show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you mute the volume of the sound, it's just no one knows what this is.
Yeah.
It's not even that, because somebody will say, well, it's really nothing then, right? Because it's like walking, whatever. And then if you go further than that, it's not even nothing. It's just simplification, and it's not an exaggeration or the seeming opposite of what I thought it was that in my thinking of what this was, that there was just this divine being running the show. You know what I'm saying? And one day I'm going to wake up that I'm that divine being, which is just pure fantasy. Because I've been there, done that, you know what I'm saying? And I had to constantly practice to be worthy of being a vessel or a messenger for that divineness. So at that token, then there is something that, like that I have remedied my unworthiness by representing this divinity or the belovedness or whatever you might want to call it. So when that falls apart, for example, when the humanness of the character, when it breaks up with someone and gets into a heartbreak, or the mom gets sick and everything, it does not see as the heartbreak and the sadness and the crying as a part of that divinity. It thinks it's lost the divinity, that structure. But kind of like going back to what we were saying, that is also what is. So crying, grieving, saddening or whatever is just what is as well. Yeah. There's no way out of it. What seems to appear.
Yep. I just want to say that's one thing I always liked about you, is the fact that you tend to use a term, and once you've used it a few times, you then tend to destroy it. And I really do like that. That's just the last person that was speaking said something that you suggested that you might sort of destroy the term. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know? Am I making sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
And another one I'd like to hear you destroy one day is this thing that we often hear, which is someone saying, rather. So there's this avoidance of using me, isn't there, at some of these discussions? And instead of using me, somebody will, a person will say, well, here it's like A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z, But there's just as much not a person as there is not a location, if that makes sense.
It's just all narrative, right? And that's also perfection appearing as that. You know what I'm saying? In the communication of what is being expressed, when it's just it's not feeding the seeker, seemingly, right? It's not. It's basically a poverty for the seeker. So when it becomes a me, then for example, if I keep saying I and what's happening here, so from the seeker's perspective, they want to be that person. But since there's no person here, right? So sometimes it uses language in us here. Although again, that becomes another crutch if you look at it, right? It becomes another idea that there's something different happening there when it's already the case, no matter what. It's already the case.
Right.
There could be an idea, whatever. Yeah, it's always the case. And again, that's another one that seemingly is not really kind of like, like, what do you mean it's always the case? It's already. It just really means that, saying there's no koan or there's no mystery to it. It's just that. Whatever seems to appear is already what it is. There's no meditating through that or trying to, inquire through it because it already is. Yeah.
Terrific. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Cecilia, and then Tej, and then Hadar.
Yeah, I was listening to Kate and to Catherine, and this video came to my mind. The one-on-one that you did with a man from Japan.
Oh yeah.
Because it can, because pizza can be as simple as pizza, impersonal or personal. As only white men gets this. That video, it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Only because here this character said only able-bodied white men gets this.
Yeah.
Toxic. I mean, it's very.
So the character tends to come up with a whole bunch of stories, right, to create a reality of what it perceives as an obstacle. So it reinforces the character as something that needs to, it's the same. It's the same of avoiding what is glaringly, obviously already. So for example, it creates one day, I'm saying, when another, when another character that's very similar to me it will happen to me too. As if it needs permission or validation for what it is. So if you really look at it, it's validating that there is a real Cecilia. There is a Cecilia on a wheelchair, so to speak, right? To create this reality that it will never happen to you. But it will never happen to anyone because it already is. Regardless of what seems to appear, it already is. It doesn't matter what an idea comes up with. Like, that's the idea that I was saying, like, when I was seeking, like, I guess this will never, I was creating excuses, but at the same time, cleverly reinforcing that I am here. Cleverly reinforcing that there's something that I can do or cannot do. It's the same narrative. Kind of like with the Shimin guy, right? It's like, well, he made another excuse, right? Well, you know what? There's Asian, there's like, Mei Long, and there's Naho and everything, and there's Emerson, because it will never happen to someone in Japan. They're all in the West. So it just keeps on creating this. But it never happened to any of us.
Yeah.
Because there's no us.
And we tend to do it so personal. It's happening to me because
it has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
Thank you, Emerson.
All right, thank you. And that's the best thing. It has nothing to do with you. Hi, Tej. Hey, Tej. Oh. Hello. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Tej. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good. Just the best day ever. Birthday cake.
Oh, yeah. But all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
You know, this is a quick one. Since you said those words, it's kind of wiped out everything else.
Yeah.
And you know what those are? And I'm trying to get them out of my system.
Yeah.
Everything is just all the words, all the discussions is just blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That kind of summarizes it.
Yeah. So the seeker says blah, 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 blah. The speaker goes blah, blah, blah. Oh,
there
blah, 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 blah.
There you go. That's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story.
That's some GPT-5 right there.
This chat.
That's the next level. This is what is being said. Blah 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 blah.
And actually, I can't get it out of my brain. It's just going blah blah blah.
That's extreme clarity there, Tej.
Yes, very clear.
I was gonna say,
it's so clear. It's all blah blah blah.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tej. Hadar. Hey, Hadar. Oh, I'm gonna get to you, Corey. Sorry. I'll get Hadar and then Robin and Corey, and then House iPhone. Go ahead, Hadar. I'll get back to you, Hadar. I have Rob. Hey, Rob. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Happy birthday. So my question is do you still have thoughts, or does it matter because
it doesn't matter really.
They don't stick.
They don't stick.
There's nobody to stick to.
No, and I guess it's just a story. It doesn't matter if I have thoughts or no thoughts. It's so funny because when someone asked me that maybe about a year ago, I'm like, I haven't really thought about it. I guess not really. You know, so it just appears and disappears. It's not really my thoughts. There's no more Emerson that have thoughts, or seemingly as it is. But again, that's just another story. But I don't.
How are decisions made?
It appears out of nowhere, kind of like what's happening right now. Like these voices coming up from nowhere. There's going to be a thought, you know, saying that this voice, but I can't find them, where this is coming from. Because it's just what is. It's almost like if you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're on demand, but not really, because there's no one demanding it. It's like when you're going a grocery, like, oh yeah, I need some cinnamon. But they're all irrelevant now.
Okay, would it be fair to say that it's all objects with no subject?
You can also say that there's no subject and there's no object. It's just what is. It really simplifies things. Yeah, it really simplifies things. It's almost like a deterrent for someone that is very analytical, because I was very critical. I had a lot of criticism and analysis about everything. It really kind of like dumbed down everything for this character. It's just what is. There's no more trying to figure out whatever it is, because that line of processing has seemingly, I can't find it anymore. So that incessant, that seeking for answers and everything, I didn't even understand what subject or object for quite a while was.
So how about there's nothing behind the curtain here. It's just all this.
It's just this, yeah. If you're trying to figure out if there's someone special here, no, there's no one special here. There's no one. Yeah, it's just very simple. There's just this appearance of this character talking, but there's no one behind it. There's no one here that has great knowledge or great, nothingness or whatever. It's just what is.
There's just the body there.
Not even that.
Okay.
It's just what is. It's you can call it body, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just what is.
But there's no difference between that and the wall behind you.
There's no difference at all with anything. Yeah. This is the same as a dust. This is the same as dirt. This is the same as whatever. It's like when you're dreaming at night, everything that you see at night, the moment that there's an awakeness, that you wake up, all of what seemed to have mattered and did not matter, all completely evaporate. Yeah. As just nothing ever happened.
And when you say nothing and emptiness, are you saying the same thing?
Yes.
Sometimes you say it's all empty, but then sometimes you say it's all nothing.
It's all the same thing. And again, the words are just completely pointless, right? Because they're just trying to point at something that cannot be pointed at.
Right.
And using words like empty and nothing and whatever, it usually, you know what I'm saying, from the seeker, it basically that there's nothing to get. It's already this. There's no added, intoxication or delusion to what is already. Yeah. Because if I say something like, well, this is the absolute awareness that is appearing as this divinity called you, then there is this intoxication right away of what seems to appear, right? So there's this difference now from me and you. Then you're walking all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, and you're thinking of wearing a garment made of silk that flows with your divinity, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just all play, right? But in the play of this, it can appear as that. So when there's just this normalcy, there's just this obviousness that there's nothing to do, that there's just no control, no manipulation. Just the honesty comes through that there's nothing to get. It's already this. So there's no more kind of like this energy to seek something that already is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just simple.
It's so simple.
Just this.
It's just this. Yeah. It's so simple.
And we create a story that there's this and us.
Exactly. There's this, and then there's the divine this. There's this, and there's the higher this. There's this, and there's an unworthy this. There's this, and you know what? There's always a sense of comparison, and that's basically the basis. It's almost like these opposites, or this kind of like this spectrum, that creates this narrative that there's a you that needs to be here, that there's a next, that there's a future.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's just this, and then we may create this story of there's an us knowing this.
Yes. Which is also this, by the way.
This.
But that's also this. So, which is also this. So everything that appears in this, including your ideas about this, is also this.
So you can't lose.
There's no one to lose.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying you can't do it wrong because it's always this anyways.
Exactly. Yeah. No one can do it wrong. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. And that is, I think there is okay, yeah, yes, Corey, for sure. Yeah, just message me. We'll chat soon. I thought you wanted to Hadar. So Hadar, the sound button is on. If you come back on, I'll ask you to unmute, but now we have a house iPhone. Go ahead, please.
Are you talking to me?
Hadar, right?
No, this is Kathy. It probably says iPhone, but I don't know. Maybe there's somebody.
House iPhone, which is Susan. The one that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm so glad because I'm like, wait a minute. Is he talking to me? I don't know what he said. I thought you said Hal.
There she is. Hello, how's iPhone?
Yeah, I couldn't somehow. Yeah. Okay, you can hear and see me, right? Okay, because I can't. Okay. So, but but
the perpetual but.
It's just a word.
It's just this but.
So the innocence, you know, of a little child just being so innocent and not, you know, there is a curiosity about the world naturally for, you know, for those little ones. It's just like curiosity about their appearance. Oh,
yes.
This and that, and what's all that? And then belief systems come in, you know, like you learn about, okay, I put my hand on a fire, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And all these things is kind of part of being a child, all these things. And then as a grown-up, you have all these belief systems about how everything works. And
yes.
And then maybe when you get older and you get your innocence again, because you forget everything, you forget about all these belief structures and systems that's going swirling all around, whatever. They just kind of evaporate, and then you're back to this.
Yeah.
And you can burn your hand again because you forgot, oops, when I put my hand on fire, it's, you know, so you have other people take care of you and such, so that doesn't happen, right? But it's interesting because it's all these belief systems that we somehow hold on to as us, instead of it's just like everything else, like eating, then some kind of belief structures pop up, you know, about all kind of things, right? But it's just what's happening, and then all these belief systems and all that stuff is happening too. And but there's always
just
that
innocence. It's just innocence at play, right? It's like role playing. It's exactly like being a child, right? When you're a child, right, there's just this curiousness in what seems to appear, right? The curiousness to, and there's, you know, and it's just a beautiful exploration of what is.
Yeah.
But the explorer is also what is. So the explorer and the exploration are not separate.
Right. It's just that simple of just exploring, and also when all those thoughts and beliefs are there, that's just part of what is, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's not better to be old and not have any memory anymore, you know. It's just like, because part of being an adult for many years is to, you know, maybe survival. I know it's a story too, but it's just kind of like, well, there's probably humans, you know, they're able to think, and that they can take care of themselves somehow that way by thinking. And so there's nothing wrong with thoughts. It's not like, oh, I have to be blanked out to be reality, you know. That's reality too. It's just what is, right?
It's just what is. And it's just perfectly as it is, no matter what it is. And it's hard sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The simplicity of it seems to create this idea that there's something wrong, that there's something missing. But even that idea that there's something wrong is also what is. It's also what's happening.
It's just what was just appears as that at that moment, and then that's gone like a dream. So all this is like, oh, it's almost like believing in all these belief structures that you know, kind of are twirling around, is kind of hanging on to them as me, instead of it's just being whatever twirls around.
Yes. Beautiful. It's just, it's just really simplifies it, right? You know, like any structures that seems to create this apparition or appearance, a belief system or whatever, is also what is. There's nothing wrong or right about that. But when it's seen that it's not relevant or irrelevant, it's just what is. It is not held on to anymore, right?
There's nothing to hold on to, because it's just it appears and it's gone again, and then that's all there is to that, unless you somehow, you know, want to grasp onto it and keep repeating it and keep holding on to this structure, and, you know, keep looping it or something. And there's not even a you to do that even.
That's right.
It's just it's just kind of like a fireworks of just, yeah.
It is. It's like it's just an explosion, right? It's like a firework. I like that. It's like this seeming display of fireworks. You know what I'm saying? It can be like you know, it can be reduced to tears, you know, like when you see this, and then it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
It appears and then it vanishes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. We'll chat again soon. And
yes.
Someone has invited me to go to Florida in January, so I'll start doing more of that soon. Yeah. Hello, Maria.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So apparently I went to my party.
Oh, did you? Oh, wow. that was fast.
Yeah, I was around the corner. And so I went to the party and I was feeling, you know, pretty chill.
Yeah.
And then at the party, my nervous system ramped up a bit.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And so now I'm back and there's like all of the blah, 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 but like there's also like a thing that's like being like, no, but you shouldn't feel like this, because it's like trying to emulate how I was feeling before I went to the party. And so it's like, it just feels very real.
Yeah.
That before the party I was feeling chill and now I'm feeling all wired and like gross.
Because there's already an implanted thought that you said that, you know, you don't really want to go to the party, but you went anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also what is.
Yeah. But also like, even at the party though, I was like, it was actually fine. And that stuff came up and I was quite chill. But then now it's just all the people and all the talking. It's just so much like, feels like there's so much meaning, which I know isn't real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so much,
of course.
Talking shit, basically.
Yeah.
So
that's also what is. You know what I'm saying? It's going to appear as that again. But guess who's but guess who was the only one at the party?
Guess what was the only one at the party?
Guess who was the only one at the party?
No one.
Just me? Your thoughts.
My thoughts? Oh yeah, that's true. No, but it feels so like visceral.
It does. It does. It's gonna be, you know what? I will want a refund if this did not feel real. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna feel visceral and, you know, tactile and, you know, heavy and whatever seems to appear it, because it appears as whatever it is.
And so even if it's the same fucking feeling every time, and because there's such a temptation to like work on my thoughts, calm my body down, like, and
then again, then there is a reinforcement that there was something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If it's just seen as it is, or not, if it's just whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? If it's just whatever it is, and if there is a kind of like, I don't want to be at this party, and if you left, end of story. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But because there is a perpetual trying to fix yourself, then the party is a perfect kind of like petri dish for the me. You know what I'm saying? For the character.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a perfect petri dish, right? Then all of a sudden there's like this, you know, there's this micro focus on how you're reacting to this one, of course. And then of course you're paying attention to what seemingly everybody's doing. You're like, oh, I can't deal with this, right? Because it's a whole bunch of whatever. Rather than seeing, you know, saying not seeing, rather than whatever it is that is appearing. It's like, for example, if you felt discomfort, you're like, I'm going to go home. I'd rather watch, I'd rather go in a hot tub and, whatever. End of story. Or when there's more kind of like, again, this is just a story. When there's just this, clarity that if all the filters are gone, meaning that it's kind of like, I don't really like going there. It's kind of like when I keep on getting invited to spiritual party and everything, I just say no.
I am actually really fine at saying no. That's not. It's more the, like, even if I want to go, the kind of aftermath means that, like, I don't sleep well because of the adrenaline.
Yeah. Okay.
My head goes into a tail. All that shit that feels almost like a physical reaction, and it's like the kind of reality is that does seem to happen.
Yes.
Like, I go to the party
of course,
and then I'm wired and then I can't sleep. So I'm like,
of course. Remember when I said that I'm allergic to anything spiritual now? You know what I'm saying? And that includes like a bodily reaction, not just it feels kind of like itchy now. It feels kind of like, oh, I don't want to be here. That's what I mean by it, right? There's just this reaction to it, seemingly.
Yeah, but sometimes I really have a fun time.
Yes.
And then I still like kind of have like a hangover the next day, even though I don't drink, smoke or anything. And
that's also what is. It's just what seems to appear. There's nothing wrong or right about what seems to be appearing, but putting it in a box saying that, you know what, every time I go to this, I have a visceral reaction. And that's what the expectation is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so I know that that's happening, but so it's just hard to be like,
kind of like what I said earlier, right? The character wants to create a continuity to maintain itself.
Yes.
So it creates a historical, event seemingly that appears as a tether to the character's reality.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that makes me be like, bro, fuck it, I'm just not going to go to parties anymore.
Yeah. And that's also the other tether. You know what I'm saying? Thinking
that's
that you can do that's also another kind of like boxing, right? It's another box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So then I'm like, all right, parties make me feel like shit, so I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
When it's actually just about like, shut up, Maria.
Much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
Which is also what is. It's just who cares, right? If you went, who cares? If you did not go, who cares?
But I'm like pretending that I don't care, but I'm still really caring that I didn't go. So
that's also what is.
Yeah. Okay.
Who cares if you're pretending that you don't care? That's also who cares.
Yeah. In me, it's like immediate. It's just here, whatever. Melt. Yeah. Okay. I did DJ, which was fun.
Did you DJ?
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And I played my new song.
Oh, cool. You know what? We're going to have a little bit, in a couple of minutes here, we're going to have a little bit of a shindig. If you want to share some of your music, I'll dance for a bit. Yeah. And I see Petra sleeping, but it's okay.
Time to wake up.
No, it's okay. It's okay. She looks like she's but yeah, if people want to stay and I don't know if there's going to be singing and everything, but lately it's kind of funny, right? Because this character, the way that I DJ'd, I was so into the heavy bass, whatever, right? Lately I've been really getting into some classical disco, from the 70s, and it's the orchestrations, the melodies are so beautiful. And it kind of like it's beautiful. So I'll play that probably in a bit. But thank you so much, Maria. Well, we have to talk soon. We'll talk soon. And hopefully the residues. Well, does anyone have any questions left?